We're here today, guys, to talk about how to catch redfin. Come up to William Hobble. What a beautiful little place. We've got the kayaks in the car behind the camera. Tronky's tying a leader on, and just over here on the ground, got a massive pile of lures. What we're going to do is quickly run through the lures that I have with me. I'm not going to use them all, there's too many, but it's going to go through the types of lures redfin will take, why they take them so much, as how they take them, how to use them, where to throw them, and then we're going to take some of the lures and the methods we've talked about out onto the water, and we're actually going to put into action and see if we can actually catch a few reddies. So guys, welcome back to Murray Crab Fishing. Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you haven't already, why not bang on the subscribe button, like it, share it, tell all your friends. It really helps us out and we really do appreciate it. Let's get into the lures, get on the water, get some fish. Righty guys, as you can see, I've got quite a fair few lures here. Before we get stuck into the lures too much, I really want to thank Tackle Club. Due to the Tackle Club, we've got this whole collection of lures here to show you that I normally wouldn't have. Pretty much everything there came from Tackle Club boxes, and most of it is relevant to trout and redfin. Russell from JD Eddy, I've got some JD Eddy lures here which will work really well as well. And then we've just got a collection of lures that I've purchased over the years. So there's a range of lures you can use to chase redfin, ranging from soft plastics in fish like paddle tails, curl tails, through to creature baits, lipless crankbaits, blades, hard bodies, floating and sinking, with lips, without lips. It's all completely up to you and the area you are fishing. The simplest thing to use for reddies is probably soft plastics. Something like this creature bait or a plain curl tail grub. We have our own in a bloodworm colour that we've created like this. It's called the fat tail grub, and that thing for redfin, something along those lines, is fantastic. Redfin actually really do love red-ish colours. Orange, red, you know, like this browny red colour, things with red flecks, and for some reason reddies love them. Now, soft plastics will work in the shallows and in the deeper water or down the trees. Just mix up your jig head size depending on where you're at. So if you're in the deep water, a little bit heavier jig head, probably don't go above about 1/8. Let it sink down the trees onto the bottom, hop it, skip it, just like that, bang, 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 let it sink back down, bang, bang, bang. On the shallows, you want to arc your rod a bit more, so your little hops across, hits the bottom, let it sit, hop it across. And I think the main key, regardless of what lure you're using with redfin, is if you start getting follows and they're not hitting, speed up your retrieve. Speed up that a little bit and you'll get that reaction bite and I'll slam it. This is one from the Tackle Club. It's red and it's got a little silver flash in it. That is fantastic. Things in that 2-inch size, really, really good. You got lipless crankbaits. This is one that came in a Tackle Club box, a little Shimano one. It looks quite good. I have never tried it before. I do really like the Molix lipless crankbaits. A red one, obviously for redfin. Blacks as well, just for silhouette. But that red one is one of my favourites. You've got the Savage Gear soft lipless crankbaits that work really well, and then another favourite of mine is the Ballista Juggernaut, and it's got, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but a red flashing light when it's in the water. Again, red for redfin. The red flashing light really seems to get their gear going. So lipless, fish them a lot like you fish with plastics. Drop them down, skip them off the bottom, arc them in the shallow water, right? And you can get your lipless crankbaits obviously in a whole range of sizes. So mix up what's in your tackle box depending on where you're going and what size fish are about. Now, similar to the lipless crankbait is your blades, and they work in the same way. You fish them the same style. They come in a variation of patterns and shapes. You just fish them exactly like a lipless crankbait and fish, the colours, sizes that you think will work for the fish you're chasing on the day. Drop them down, hop them off the bottom, just the same as your lipless crankbaits. Now, spinners and spinnerbaits work exceptionally well on redfin as well. And this here, people call it a beetle spin, it's bet spin, beetle spin, bet spin, whatever you want to call it. It's like half a spinnerbait. You got a tow point, and what you do is you clip your jig head onto there and you turn any plastic you want into a spinnerbait. That thing is killer. Hook it up to a lighter jig head, red plastic, bang, you are on your way. And on this rod here, I've got a beetle spin hooked to a bass jig with a soft plastic on it. Now that is going to be thrown today on the heavier rod here. Now that has a reddish coloured plastic, a spin from the beetle spin, and the little bit of a skirt thing from the bass jig. Now that is kind of like a spinnerbait in the full setup, but itemised for ready. Then you've actually got custom proper made spinnerbaits, and this one here is missing a blade sadly. I think I've got some over here. These are Mollix ones. Yep. Blue and grey, that's not bad, but this fella here, the yellow, orange, black, red, that is killer. It's got a Mollix triple bladed in orange and grey. Another great spinnerbait there. Those little size spinnerbaits and inline spinners. So these couple, this one's the ball concept spinner from Pontoon 21. Red, flashy, again, fantastic. That's a slow sink. Really well, good on the shallows. When you're in the deep water, that might be a bit hard to get down to them. So keep that in mind. Spinner's really good for redfin, but I'd stick on the shallows for them and less into the deeper water, and lets the fish are sitting high on the trees. This is a Mollix HS45 prawn. As you can see, it's clear and red. No bib. All you do is sink that down and just hop it through the bottom. It looks like a little shrimp, bit in a red colour. That is killer inside the structure for redfin. Also other species when you're in the salt love this sort of thing. But talking reddies today, something like that works really well, and you can get these things in a multitude of brands. It's just that Mollix is the one that I have. So hard bodies work really well for redfin. In the shallows, exceptionally well. When you're in the deep water, if the fish are in the top part of the water column, they are fantastic. If the fish are sitting really down deep, you can't really get your hard bodies down to them. So you just got to weigh up when a hard body is necessary. Now this little Mollix FC45 is a real shallow diver. There's a nice pink colour there, and I've caught a ton of reddies on that. Now it doesn't go very deep, so when you're fishing off the bank and the reddies are sitting in the shallows, something like that is fantastic. On the same vein as that, you've got the JD Eddy Lip Ripper. Now the JD Eddy Lip Ripper does dive pretty steep for its size, but I'm not going to lie, it doesn't dive deep. It dives steep to maybe about 1 metre, so flicking off the bank into the shallows. These are fantastic. As you can see, this Christmas one here is red and white. It has redfin written all over it. So when the redfin are high, that size, style, and the swim on these is exactly what you want for redfin. But if they're sitting down deep, it's not going to get there. Now, in the JD Eddy range, you go to the Mini Dam Buster, and a good size small lure again with a much bigger bib, and it will actually get down a little bit deeper. But again, I'm not going to try and sell you on these lures when the fish are sitting on the bottom, because that is not going to get to the bottom. I think they get to about 2 or 3 metres. Some of the spots we're fishing here are 8 metres, 10 metres deep. So, you know, they work fantastic on redfin when they're in the right depth. So I'm probably going to throw them today. These little Katos go deeper again. 2 different bib types there. One of these actually goes to 8 metres. Now, when I say that, it goes to 8 metres like any other diving lure. So from here to here. So when you're casting a tree, if you're in 8 metres of water, you need to be casting about 10 or 15 metres past the tree to get that to 8 metres depth when you're at the tree. If you cast it at the tree, By the time it gets to 8 meters deep, you're nowhere near the tree. So it will get a bit more depth, but again, it's not going to sink straight to the bottom like your lipless crankbaits. And most divers, most hard bodies don't. They have their place and they work really well, but you need to be aware of that. But mollies over here have this hard body called the Jew bar. Now this has been for a very, very long time one of my all-time favourite lures. This is a jointed lure which has a fantastic action and looks like a wounded baitfish, and it sinks. Now it only dives to about 1 metre, but you can cast it wherever you want and just let it sink to the bottom and then wind it along the bottom and get smashed. So you can fish these hard bodies in those places where you can fish plastics and lipless crankbaits really, really effectively, and that action on them gets the fish really off their heads after the lure. You're not restricted with hard bodies if you pick the right hard bodies. The downside to them is if you're in shallow water and it's snagged on the bottom, you can't wait for it to float off the snag. It's just not going to happen. Most of what we have here will work on redfin, and you can see we haven't touched on every lure. It's because they're all variations of the lures we're touching pretty much. There's a few surface lures here. I'm not going to touch on that too much because you can catch redfin on surface, but if you're targeting redfin, you're not going to tie on a surface lure. That's just the way it is. So the plastics, hard bodies, etc, etc, etc. Now the only thing I haven't really touched on is chatterbaits, and we've got two here by Mollix. We've got this beautiful red Mollix Lover, and I don't actually know what this one's called, but it's another Mollix chatterbait. Single hook, so your hookup rates aren't as great as some other lures, but these things sink really quick. They have a really harsh wobble action. You put a plastic on the back of them and bang, you are on with the reddies. So just keep in mind, like this one's 14 grams. It's actually a solid lead head. This is a hollow plastic head. And you can see they're a bit of a different design. Plastic built in bib, whereas this has the free plate. Ooh. This has the free plate, but they both swim very similar actually, considering the different makeup. Obviously this one will get to the bottom a lot quicker. So they work really well on the redfin. Just pick and choose your places to throw them. Now I called this video You Want to Catch Redfin. So I've covered pretty much all the lures you can use to catch reddies, but if you want to go and catch redfin and you're starting from scratch, there's a couple of things you can do. You can get yourself a trout and redfin box from Tackle Club and get a mix of lures. You'll get what you're given and you'll try things that you might not have bought. That's a really good way to do it. You're pretty much guaranteed to get at least a pack of plastics. Nearly every month you get a pack of plastics. Or you can go and pick and choose a few things that you want to buy. Something in the tree above me. Now, if I was sending you into the shop, or if I was sending you out to buy some lures to get redfin, I would say get some natural red-ish coloured soft plastics, like our fat tail grub, which I showed you before, something in that colour, or these chase baits, black and gold, bit of red and gold fleck. Okay, that is a fantastic redfin lure, right? If you put that in your tackle box, you're on a win. So let's make our redfin tackle box, right? We're going to go with them. So 1/6, but we've got one at I'd say 1/8, but we've got 1/6 here, so let's just put them there. So we've got a pack of jig heads, and we've got the chase baits, right? We're going to take that. We're going to take a Mollix lipless crankbait. So we've got a mini dam buster from JD Eddy. We've got some creature baits off plastics, a lip ripper. We've got two there. We've got a lip ripper from JD Eddy as well. Mollix spinner bait. We're going to try and start with these, and we'll run through some other stuff out on the water. But just to sort of show you what you could put in your tackle box to go and get fish. So we've got these few here. Let's see, what else would I recommend throwing in to go and start? Flash J shad in the red. Right, so a packet of them. The bass jig with the beetle spin. So the packet of beetle spins. So with the packet of beetle spins, I've got a bass jig, so I can rig that up. I can rig the bass jig by itself without the beetle spin on it, without the plastic on it if I want. So I've got them bass jigs. Right, So throw a bass jig in, throw a beetle spin in, right? And then what you've got is the combination of using the beetle spin with a bass jig, or on one of your jig heads with one of your plastics, or without. So you can actually mix and change between them however you want. So I recommend that in your tackle box. If you went out and started with that selection there, you are in with a really, really, really good chance of catching some redfin. I don't see you having any problems. If you wanted to go on from there, you could just vary in the diver depths or get your sinking hard bodies, something like that. So we've touched on lures. Let's just quickly touch on the hardware you'll need to throw them out on the water. My main trout and redfin setup is a Gen Black itchy twitchy 1.5 to 3 kilo 7-foot rod with a 2000 size Saltist by Diver. That has 6 pound, it's actually got 6 pound braid, 6 pound leader at the moment, and that will throw these light things, and it will throw most of these things here. Be careful throwing the bass jigs, especially when you add a plastic in that to them. They are starting to get a little bit heavier, and if you're going to throw some of these chatterbaits, just be careful on this setup. That's setup 1. Setup number 2, I've got a Tyro Mega Speed 7-foot 2 to 4 kilo. Now, yeah, that's 1.5 to 3. This is 2 to 4. There can't be that much difference. Well, there is. Look at the size difference in the weight rating there. That extra kilo gives you a whole lot more rod to play with. And instead of a 2000 size reel, it's got a 2500, and this is a Freams, I don't know how you pronounce it, by Diver, and it's actually a fantastic little reel as well. So 2500 reel on the 2 to 4 kilo, it will throw that bass jig with absolutely no stress whatsoever, and that's the difference going from the 1.5 to 3 to the 2 to 4 makes. So that is the other setup I'd recommend. If you're not going to throw a lot of light stuff, this will throw most of this. This will throw most of this stuff without any worries whatsoever. It might be a little bit harder with the little lip rippers. Everything else, this will handle no worries, and you could use this for trout as well. On this, I have 8 pound braid as opposed to 6 pound braid, and I've got a 10 pound leader on that one. So this is really my redfin and yellow rod. So yeah, either setup in those sort of weight ranges will do you really, really well. So now we've covered that, guys, I'm going to throw together one tackle box to take with me. We're going to get out on the water, and we're going to go and actually put into action what we've covered and catch some reddies.
Oh, yep. Oh, come on. Oh, that's got to be reddies. Oh, again. Get the hook. Come on. Come on. That's got to be reddies. Let's see if I do it again. Yep. Yeah, I told you they were there. Oi, Tronky! Yeah. I landed one. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, huge. Almost pulled me in. Ooh, tappy on the JD. Didn't hook up. Come on. Yep. Oh, come on. How did you not hook up on the JD? You got bloody trebles at the back. You can't really. Ooh, hit it again. Come on. Yep. Oh, come on.
Come on.
You got one? Joggy's caught one on a blade. We covered blades in the discussion. towed you in from here somewhere, so I think that's the one you were hanging on to when I came over, so I don't know where your rod was from there. Is that where you kind of fell out? The wind doesn't help. Oh, well, I'm fishing anyway, so if I hook it, that's alright. But she lost the rod out here somewhere, so I thought I'd have a couple of flicks and see if I can hook it, but I know exactly where it is. I think she was hanging off that stick when I came over, so she flipped somewhere around here. So
Much later.
hooked something. I've got it. I've got a rod. Don't drop off, don't drop off. Oh God. I got the rod, man. I got it. Come on, come on. Oh, shit. Whoa. Got it. So that it's a bit shorter and the hook's close to the back. Drunky's found him. Keeps dropping them. Another one. Like right there somewhere. He's landed another one.
6-1 I've hooked on there.
Oh, little touch. Yeah, so there's a little school of them just sitting out there. So the little blade.
They're getting smaller by the...
They're getting smaller. How is that possible? Hold on. Oh. Yep.
Yeah, come over here and get enough out of the double up.
I've gone to the ball concept spinner. It's smaller. It's got the hooks at the back, and I'm just hoping that that will get a better hookup rate and also a little bit more attention than the plastic with the flash and that. So let's see if that makes any difference. Trongy just pulled two from pretty much.
Yep. That one is a bit better. That's a little bit better. That's not huge, but that's fish of the day. That is fish of the day, guys. Oh.
You're up to 5, yeah?
Yeah. 6. Oh, dropped him. Yep. Almost towed me in, it did. We got some light to oh, got him.
Got him?
Oh, dropped him. No, got him.
Little one?
Right on the edge. That's
Tiny. Oh.
that might be the smallest of the day.